why are you bullish right now? What's your price tag for 2025? And yeah, what's coming next?
I don't know German, but I think I heard the word legend. Is that legend? Did you introduce me as a Bitcoin legend?
Yes.
Okay, that's appropriate. I accept that. So Bitcoin prices, of course, always going higher because the fiat money world is always collapsing. I don't look at the price for a signal to tell me how well the Bitcoin network is doing. I look at the hash rate, and the hash rate is always kind of going up on this 45-degree angle. As more people commit to the network, the miners and those who are committing to the network are the ones who are actually taking the risk. They are the primary risk takers in this network. It's not like the oil industry where if you look at the price of oil and the price of oil is down, then oil rigs go down and the industry pauses. In Bitcoin, there is no price at which people stop throwing computational power at the network. The hash rate continues to go up no matter what the price is. So don't even look at the price because it doesn't tell you anything. The only thing you need to know is that every 4 years, you go through a cycle, and if you hold for at least 4 years, you're going to be positive on your Bitcoin. Don't try to trade Bitcoin, just hodl Bitcoin, own Bitcoin, just Bitcoin. Don't look at anything else because everything else is for degenerate gamblers, and it'll just sidetrack you from the essence of peace that you will achieve by being pure Bitcoin maximalist.
Awesome, but then the Bitcoin price is way too low because the hash rate is just going up, so we're basically in a super cycle.
We're in a super cycle, okay? Why did Germany sell their Bitcoin, okay? Now, your country has made the ultimate faux pas, if I may speak. Look, my name is Max Keiser. Keiser is obviously a German name, right? The most of the ethnic mix of America is German, and they settled in the north and in the northeast and in like places like Wisconsin. That's where my mother grew up in Wisconsin. And I'm from German stock, from Bavaria, from 300 years ago. We got conned into leaving Bavaria by a guy named William Penn, who started a state called Pennsylvania. And you see my name, Keiser, in a lot of cemeteries in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And my ancestors were printers and journalists, and they started the Lancaster Gazette, which is one of the first newspapers in America, and we covered the Revolutionary War. And I, as a former German of ancestry, am appalled at the stupidity of Germany's political class that foolishly liquidated your Bitcoin, and now you've taken yourself out of the running in the 21st century and made yourself irrelevant. This is deplorable. What are we gonna do about it?
Yeah, it's really a shame because now I'm ashamed of my nation. I was always proud, but now I can't tell I'm German anymore. So
look, there's only so much you can do with Wiener Schnitzel, okay? You got all the sausages. There's like 1,500 sausages in Germany. It's like, you know, sausages are the Germans what cheese is the French. They can't get enough sausages. There's so many different sausages. Okay, that's great. You got brilliant fucking sausages. We love it. But, you know, you don't have enough Bitcoin. You can't survive on sausages alone. You need some freaking Bitcoin.
The cryptocurrency world was shaken by a shocking incident involving the controversial meme coin LIBRA. Endorsed by none other than Argentina's president, the coin saw a meteoric rise before a catastrophic collapse. Little did the investors know, behind the enticing facade of viral success lay a perilous trap. Internet entrepreneur Vinny Lingham and prominent Bitcoin advisor Max Keiser have fired shots, berating the masses and issuing dire warnings to anyone dabbling in meme coins. Welcome back to Investocracy Crypto.
You exit a company, you're part of some startup, you're in a high position, paying position, you know, you can try to get to 10 Bitcoin, right? And that's sort of your, you know, that's sort of the next kind of level, right? You know, you're going to have to be a little bit more lucky. You have to make the right moves. That's 100 Bitcoin. You know, the next, probably the final level you would ever get to, if you're ever lucky, is 1,000 Bitcoin. You know, I'm just a little bit below that right now. But you know, it's sort of like 100 Bitcoin is a great level. You know, it's a kind of a dream level to get to, and I think that means pretty much your financial future is guaranteed for the rest of your life, and for your children's life. It's enough for you and your progeny to go on. So that's the way I see the financial stuff. I think it's very simple. You just invest in Bitcoin. You don't time it. You don't go in and out. You can look at it. Right now, Bitcoin's just not very interesting. It's not doing anything. It's very, very steady. It's sitting around 97, 96,000. Hasn't done anything for 6 weeks. And that's Bitcoin. But, you know, part of being a Bitcoiner is, You don't trade your Bitcoin. You don't sell your Bitcoin. You don't buy your Bitcoin. You don't get too caught up in like options on Bitcoin or MicroStrategy or options on MicroStrategy or any of these things. You just hold your Bitcoin. Now, if you want to hold an ETF, hold an ETF. If you want to hold your Bitcoin in cold storage, hold your Bitcoin in cold storage. Both are fine, right? If you're just starting out, use a mobile wallet. Just if you don't have very much Bitcoin, you can hold it in a mobile wallet. By the way, you can hold your Bitcoin in Phantom Wallet on Solana. It's a decent Bitcoin wallet if you want. There's better ones. So that's Bitcoin. At the other extreme, right? At the other extreme, we have meme coins. Right? Now, meme coins are not investments. Now, what I say by that is, if you put your money in a meme coin and you go to sleep for a year and you wake up, you will not have any more money. Most probably, right? Most probably, you wait a year, your meme coin goes to zero. Okay, but that's okay. That's part of what meme coins are, right? Meme coins are kind of a cultural phenomena that happens for a brief period of time, and then it's not worth anything. Okay, you may get lucky and you may get in one of these cultural moments that actually kind of becomes kind of a Shiba Inu or Doge. There are a few of these things that sort of just for whatever reason have kind of percolated out into something that's going to probably be worthwhile. I mean, Doge will probably be worth something 10 years from now. Just like Litecoin still has value. It's sort of a meme coin in a way. Like nobody uses it, has no utility of any kind.
It all started with a dazzling ascent to almost $5 per coin, drawing in eager investors like moths to a flame, hitting a $4.5 billion market cap in the process. But then, in a twist as unpredictable as the stock market today, a cascade of sales from insider wallets holding a hefty 80% of the supply sent the price spiraling downwards. Vinny Lingham minced no words, drawing a rather apt comparison to gambling, except the house in this case is cheating.
Okay, so you talked about El Salvador buying like 20,000 Bitcoin. That's like the new target. So are they buying Bitcoin with the IMF money? Is this a possibility?
You know what I tell the president? I say, look, President, for years the IMF has been throwing presidents of Central American and Latin American countries out of airplanes. It's time for us to return the favor and throw some of these IMF bankers out of an airplane. He's like, Max, I agree, but it's a bit harsh. I'm like, okay, you're the president. That's why you're the president and I'm not the president. Okay, if it were me, I'd throw these guys out of an airplane and return the favor. But look, the IMF is a dying institution, just like every central bank is a dying institution. All centralized money is a dying institution. All bankers are a dying institution. As a matter of fact, Jamie Dimon has already died. He's buried out on the 9th hole here in the Encanto Country Club. In his place is this animatronic AI-driven bot that just commits crimes all day so that the feds can bail him out. That's their only business model. Crime is their business model. Jamie Dimon is dead, and so is the entire banking system. They're deader than Los Angeles, deader than California. They are a dead duck. It's a dead man walking.
So
hello.
So Bitcoin is hope. So El Salvador, what would you say to our German audience? Why should they go to El Salvador? Why should they visit? And why should they come to El Salvador?
Well, in Germany, you had something happen in 1990, which was phenomenal, right? The Berlin Wall came down and East Germany became an economic powerhouse in its own right. It went from zero to becoming a viable part of the country, and you had some really strong growth there, and it's always been the heart of the Eurozone. The Deutsche Bank was always the basis of the European Central Bank, and the German people have always been known as being savers and being prudent and being ones who have a low time preference. That low time preference concept is very Teutonic in nature. It's very German in nature. And they look toward the future. They look toward, but unfortunately, all of Europe, thanks to the euro and thanks to these policies of money printing and Mario Draghi, who came into the ECB and turned it into a fuckfest where he's just printing money for every nickel and dime scoundrel that comes in his office looking for a handout, they totally trashed the joint. So you can stay there and go down with the ship, or just take all your wealth, put it in Bitcoin, move to El Salvador and start over again. You know, people are migratory in nature. Humans are curious. They want to travel through time and space. Why not go to the one country in the world that offers liberation and freedom and economic freedom, and that is El Salvador. So I say to the German people, get up now. Put down that Stein of Lohnbrau and go to the airport, get on that cheap airplane that's going to cost you less to fly here than you spent on beer last night. Come here and unwrap your Bitcoin, buy a house, raise kids, get some lederhosen. Get some lederhosen and eat a pupusa. And you will see Satoshi, because Satoshi lives here. And he's looking for lederhosen, pupusa eating Germans to talk to. Don't delay. Come today.
Awesome, Max. Super inspiring. This was super, super nice. So we're going to the El Salvador space rocket now and flying to the moon, and the others, they're just sinking.
Let's do it. Let's go to the moon right now.
Woo!
Backing this viewpoint, Max Keiser expressed his displeasure with the current trend of fraudulent cryptocurrencies springing up without the foundational documents, commonly referred to as white papers. His comparison of such shallow ventures to the meticulously planned launch of Bitcoin by Satoshi Nakamoto makes one ponder the gap between genuine innovation and opportunistic schemes. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
So a lot of people, when it comes to that freedom, have been assuming that corporations would be the narrative of this cycle and that nation states would be the narrative of this cycle, right? And so obviously, as this seems to be maybe changing, right? What do you think is going to happen in the coming years, right? Do you think we're going to have the traditional 4-year cycle? Do you think maybe now we have a super cycle and price goes higher? Do you think maybe price doesn't go higher, but instead the bear market's either dampened or changed in some way? Or is it just a total crapshoot that we have absolutely no idea with what's happening?
Well, you know, back in the internet days, NASDAQ was at incredible highs. Cisco was the most valuable company in the world. And the assumption was that Cisco's growth would be 40% a year revenue, essentially. And then they came in with a number that was under that. And that was the rug pull on the NASDAQ, pretty much. There was a rug pull on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ went from, dropped almost, I think, 90% from the high, starting in the 2001 break. Now, the cycles in Bitcoin, I think, looking ahead, will be, I see a problem developing in 18 months of liquidity, where it's just people are going to not be able to source Bitcoin at any price. There's just nobody, and so it'll be an illiquid market. And this happens in markets all the time. They get jammed up by having liquidity issues. That's why over the last, you see this sideways action in Bitcoin since the last time we spoke.
Right.
And people are saying, well, there seems to be a lot of demand. Why is it going sideways?
In hindsight, the Libra episode serves as a vivid reminder of the volatility inherent in the burgeoning realm of cryptocurrency. While the excitement of investing in the next big thing can be enthralling, especially when presidential endorsements are in the mix, it's vital to possess a comprehensive understanding of the underlying factors before diving in. But what do you think? Share your thoughts. And finally, if you would like to know more about cryptocurrencies or specifically Bitcoin, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.